Afternoon. Welcome to Level 2 Sociology. I'm Miss Harper. I am Deputy Curriculum Area Lead for Social Science and Coordinator for GCSE Sociology. What I'd like to do now is introduce you to the course and what to expect if you take Level 2 Sociology at WQE. Okay, so first of all, what is sociology? Sociology is often referred to as the science of society. So essentially, what sociologists are interested in is how people behave and why they behave in certain ways, particularly when they're in groups. So where you might have looked at psychology, they look at the mind and behavior. Sociologists look at people in groups, because essentially we tend to interact with others. So like scientists then, what sociologists want to do then is study human behavior in as much of an objective and systematic way as possible. So there are many different methods that they will use, and that's something that we'll explore throughout the course. So what is sociology? Sociology is everything. Sociology isn't just one thing, it's everything that's around us, everything that you see in the news, everything that you see as you walk out your door, and we cover a range of topics during the course. We can't study everything, so instead what we do is we study a selection of different topics. So I'm just going to take you through some of the topics that you may well study at Level 2. The first one is families. So we look at the function of families, what are families actually for? Is it really just to feed us, to clothe us, to shelter us, etc.? Or is there something more to families? And we'll look at various different types of families, what we call family diversity in contemporary Britain. We'll look at the changing roles and relationships within families and the fact that families have become increasingly child-centered in today's society. We look at different sociological views of the family. Sociologists aren't all the same. They think various different things about the family and various other topics within sociology, and we'll look at those main ones. We'll also look at marriage and divorce and the consequences for family members. So that's really just an overview of one of the units. Secondly, we'll look at education, and again, we'll look at competing different sociological views on education. We'll look at the purpose and the role of education and the relationship between education and work, for example, education and the economy, education and capitalism. We'll look at various different factors affecting educational achievement, whether that's class, gender, or ethnicity as well. So quite interesting ideas there. As we know then, there are various different disparities between different ethnic groups, as well as between boys and girls. In Unit 2, we will look at crime and deviance, and this is a very big topic and one that often draws students to sociology. I've put some articles up on there. We look at the social construction of crime in terms of, this idea that we create what we consider to be crime and deviance. It's different in various different societies, and we'll look at that. So there are some images on the screen in front of you where these are quite well-known criminals, by the way, and we will examine those and some of the factors affecting criminal and deviant behaviour. We'll look at various forms of control, whether that's formal control in terms of the police and the judicial system, or we'll look at also informal social control in terms of parents, friends, peers, etc. Again, we look at sociological explanations for crime. So there are a number of different explanations as to why people commit crime, and we explore those throughout the course. We'll also consider this idea of the dark figure of crime. So not every crime is reported, not every crime is recorded. And so we'll look at some of the reasons why that happens and what are the implications and consequences for that. The final theory is the final unit is social stratification. This is really related to inequality in society. So we look at various different theories of inequality, whether that be functionalist theories. They argue that we have to have inequality in society and some of the reasons why that's the case. We look at various other theories within society. We look at different social groups and stratification, in particular women and the glass ceiling. So this idea that there is equality in society, but actually in some instances there are these invisible barriers. We look at poverty as a social issue, this idea that poverty is a problem that affects us all rather than just one group of people. We look at different ideas of power and authority. So we may well look at things like legitimate authority that people have because of their job, or we may well look at charismatic authority, and that's to do with the personal characteristics and qualities that a person actually has. And finally, we look at power relationships in everyday life, so how people can exert power in everyday life, such as in the home, amongst their peers, etc., etc. Looking at sociology overall, within all the different topics, we also consider various different debates within sociology as well. So we look at how sociological knowledge actually changes over time. So it doesn't stay stagnant, it actually changes as society progresses, as our knowledge widens or broadens. We look at various different sociological perspectives in terms of how society is characterized, various different social structures and different processes in society as well. So lots of key terms, lots of explanation, lots of discussion actually within sociology. We also look at research methods. So sociologists aren't just dusty old scientists looking at various different ideas. They actually go out and do research. And so we'll look at how sociologists conduct their research and the relevance of that research to society as well. So that's really just an overview of some of the topics that we look at in sociology. What I also want to look at here is the skills that you will acquire. So we have what we call assessment objectives. So our skills are things like knowledge and understanding. That's really an AO1 skill. Are you able to describe an idea? Are you able to provide a definition of a particular study, of a theory, etc.? Can you explain or outline an idea? And then there's the application skills, what we call AO2 skills. And this is really about applying your knowledge to a specific context or a specific setting. And we'll do that in relation to the different topics that I just discussed earlier. And finally, we've got your AO3 skills. These are largely your analytical skills and your evaluative skills. So can you look at an idea and critique that idea? Can you exercise some judgment on what are the merits of this particular idea? And these are largely the main skills that you will acquire at level 2. So these are essential skills that you're going to need to progress onto a level 3 course anyway. And so essentially, GCSE Sociology will give you a really good foundation for further study. So what will studying sociology enable you to do? It'll enable you to understand how and why our individual personalities change depending on the groups that we're in. It will expand your knowledge of the world. It'll develop your critical thinking skills and help you to reflect and challenge your own opinions and your experiences. It allows you to think about evidence, use that evidence to support as well as critique and argument. Above all, sociology will help you to think, not to just accept ideas without question, but actually think about ideas and help to formulate your views about various different ideas in the world. So on to how the course is actually structured. So it is a one-year course, which is slightly different to schools. So it's a one-year course, and over the course of the year, you'll study the main topics that I just outlined. So in paper 1 then, or unit 1, you've got families, education, and theories and methods. And that's worth a total of 50% of your overall qualification. You will do an exam for unit 1. It's a written paper, an hour and 45 minutes in length. And then paper 2 will be crime and deviance, as well as social stratification. Again, worth a total of 50% of your overall qualification. Again, a written paper lasting an hour and 45 minutes. And that is generally the whole assessment overview. There is no coursework for GCSE Sociology. It really is all working towards these 2 exams. So why study AQA Sociology? It's, as I said before, it is an excellent foundation for A-level study. Those of you who choose to go on to study level 3 sociology, much of what we do at GCSE gives you the foundation needed for that. It goes very well with other humanities-based subjects such as psychology, like citizenship, for example, law, politics. All of those other subjects work very, very well with sociology. It provides the essential employability skills that you need for work. Essentially, sociology is about people. And when you go to work, you're going to be socialized, and you're going to be mixed, and you're going to be integrated with people. So sociology, again, is a very, very good base for that. And above all, as I said, I can't reiterate this enough, it encourages you to think and question everything. Our results last year then, as you can see on the board, we have 100% 1 to 9, and our 4 to 9, which is the old C to A star, we have over 50%. Thank you very much. Goodbye.